after that incident, believe it or not, that's not actually what caused my mother to lose custody.
Okay. This is Soda with Strangers, a podcast where we sit with a stranger, share a soda, and get curious about the life behind the label. Because the more we listen, the harder it is to see each other as strangers. Okay, perfect. Okay, so this is Boss. Boss, tell us about yourself. Give us your background.
My name is Tyler Bost. I go by my last name, Bost, because there's too many Tylers in the world,
Fair.
and I need to differentiate myself in some capacity, and I love my last name.
It's a good one.
And frankly, like if you watch TV or movies, if there's a Tyler, you can guarantee that they're the antagonist or a douche in some way. So
Okay, fair.
I've never liked the name Tyler because of that. Like they're always, and in real life too, like they're not nice people typically.
Well,
No.
you're a Tyler, so you're changing the stereotype.
Well, I'm not Tyler. I'm Boss.
That's fair. Legally, I guess.
Yeah, I've been thinking about changing it recently, actually, but
Okay.
too many people know me by that name, so it'd be
Yeah.
a pain for most people.
Yeah, name change is a pain, huh? Okay.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
We're still in the middle of it.
Yeah, I know.
So that's fair.
Yeah.
But what would you change it to?
I like Leon a lot,
Oh, that's cool.
so that's probably what I would go with. I haven't given it a
Okay.
whole lot of thought beyond that.
Yeah. Passive thought of like, hey, maybe.
It would have definitely been Roland at one point.
Fair.
I've always loved that name, but I now work and manage a Roland,
Fair.
so I
Fair.
couldn't change my name to his. He'd
That
get a
would-
chip on his shoulder.
It would also be like, there's just one more person for you to share a name
Exactly.
with, you know?
Yeah. There's already too many
Oh.
of those, so.
That's fair. Okay, I like it. Well, let us know what you want to be called
Yeah,
today.
Boss is good.
Too.
I'm 37. I've been working in the same career for almost 8 years.
Nice.
I was born in California. I've lived all over the West Coast
Cool.
due to my mother's, let's be charitable and call it a career.
Okay.
I've lived in Washington, Oregon, Arizona. I lived in Alaska for 5 years. That was when we settled down
Nice.
for a little while, at least before her career took off.
Okay.
And then we moved to Yuma, Arizona.
Okay.
And we were there for, I think, 4 years. And that's when her career really started taking off. And then we were in Montana, Kansas, all
Oh
over the
my
West
goodness.
Coast. Never went east.
Okay.
Never
Just
further than
west.
Kansas, Missouri. Never further than Missouri. But all over the place for at least, 90 days is where we would
Okay.
end up.
Did you have a preference? Like, what was a favorite?
I never was around long enough to really, probably Nevada when I was a
Okay.
kid, just
Yeah.
because when my parents, or rather mother and her, whoever, were doing what they wanted to do, I would always go to the arcade and I would
Okay.
play Area 51.
I love
Like,
that.
that's what I would do. So probably Vegas just because of the arcades, but
Okay.
overall we were moving around too much to really get attached to anything.
Okay.
So,
Was friendships, like, was that a challenge for you?
oh, definitely a challenge. Absolutely. Yeah. Didn't have any real friends until I ended up living with my grandparents.
Okay.
So, raised by them from 10 on,
Okay.
and stayed in the exact same place in Utah until I moved out at 17. So,
Okay, fair. So 7 years of stability from moving, at least, right?
correct, yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So I've been in a lot of
You've been
places,
everywhere.
but not enough to say that I'm from there or lived there long enough to be a local or even know where to go and eat. Granted, that was, over 20 years ago.
That's fair. But still,
Um,
not enough to, like, know the place very well.
Correct, yeah. So
Okay.
Circle, Alaska is where we settled down for a little while, and I was only there until I was 5. But and then from there we went to Yuma, Arizona, and I was there until I was 8 or 9. I don't remember the
Okay.
exact timeline.
Yeah.
And we were kind of on and off there. There was like a 9-month period where I lived in St. George, Utah
Okay.
during that time
Okay.
before I went back, and yeah, it was a hot mess.
Yeah. What brought you here to settle?
So my ex-wife and I, we were in Layton at the time.
Okay. Yeah.
We were there for 5 years after we were married, and we came down here for a vacation. We just
Cool.
visited some family. We're here
Okay.
for a week. We both liked it.
Yeah.
And after like a year or so, going back home, we were like, we want to move to St. George. So
Okay.
I just quit my job one day. Like that was the only thing keeping us there. So
Okay.
I quit my job and we moved to St. George.
Fair. And you've been here how long?
We moved in 2014, so 12 years.
Oh, nice.
So
Okay.
yeah.
So do you consider St. George home
It
now?
is my home now. Yeah.
Okay.
hmm
Fair. Not where you're from, but home.
Correct. Yeah, and where I'm from, I'd consider Bountiful where I'm from, Bountiful, Utah, because
Okay.
that's where I lived the longest period of time.
Okay.
But yeah,
That's cool. An adventure
yes,
is what you lived in your
mildly,
childhood.
mildly, absolutely.
Okay, fair. What's a goal or something you have in mind?
Honestly, I don't have any goals right now.
That's fair.
Um, Picking up the pieces, my life falling apart.
Yeah.
So I guess that's my goal.
Take care of you.
Yep, take care of me, take care of my kids. Um, I'm thinking about buying a second house, but I probably won't do that for a couple years. I guess that could be another goal.
Yeah.
Nothing really like set in stone.
Okay.
I've thought about going back to school, but that's a whole complicated mess. And
Fair.
yeah, anyway.
Okay. So you're kind of in a period where you're just taking the pause, trying to find like the peace, the healing.
Exactly.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. That's a admirable place to be.
Yeah, working on myself.
Yeah.
Emotionally and physically. Like I don't know if Craig has mentioned it, but I've lost 70 pounds.
Yeah, that's huge.
In this year, I'm trying to at least 50
That's
more is my goal.
crazy. Yeah.
But I've kind of hit that plateau where I've got to start either doing more or
Yeah.
something.
That's
But
impressive though, you know?
I'm very happy with the progress that
Yeah.
I've seen.
A lot.
Yeah.
Good for you. Feeling like you're taking care of you.
I say it took me a little while. Like I even recently, I'd look at myself and I'd be like, I don't really see that much of a change. But then I went and I looked at the picture that they
Yes.
took at the Christmas party, 7 months ago.
Yes.
And definitely in my face, I'm just like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I definitely do look different.
Yeah, because you see the day to day,
hmm
but there is a big difference. I mean, 70 pounds, that's a
It's a lot.
that's
Yeah.
like 3 of my kids. So it's a good amount of weight, you
Yeah.
know? That's impressive. Cool. Okay, so in like a healing phase.
Mhm.
I like that. That's a good goal too, right? Taking care of you.
Agreed. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got to take care of yourself before you can take care of other people. That's
Yes.
why they tell you to put the mask on yourself on a plane before you attach it to your child.
Right. Because then you're no help to anybody.
Exactly.
Okay, fair. What are you drinking?
I am drinking a Dr. Pepper coconut cream or creamy coconut, 0 sugar, because the coconut Dr. Pepper is the best Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper, make it permanent. I'm serious. I know where your company is.
Oh, threat.
It was not a threat. I just know where it is. That's a fact.
Oh, okay. Okay, fair enough.
But seriously, make it permanent. Tired of waiting every summer.
So it's just a summer thing.
Yeah,
then.
so far it's the last 3 years it's been summer.
Okay, so it's like semi-permanent. It's seasonally
Yeah,
permanent.
seasonal. And
Okay.
they sell out like that. Finding them is challenging.
Yep, I couldn't find it today, so
So,
I do understand that.
Yeah, I buy 10 cases at a time just so that it can last me a little while because I know it's going to sell out really fast.
Yeah. It's funny because when we go to the store, Craig will see it and send you a picture. Like he's like, "Oh, it's here," and he'll take a picture. It's like almost every other time we go.
And I appreciate the heads up every time he gives it to me because it's hard to find
I
sometimes.
was say now I understand the challenge. Everywhere I go, there's pretty much Diet Coke.
Yeah,
I don't,
it's its own
I
staple
don't have
now.
that. Yes. Yeah, it lives everywhere.
Have you tried the new Diet Coke with lime? I hear really good things about it,
I have not.
but I haven't tried it.
I'll like squeeze a lime in, but I haven't tried. I haven't been brave enough yet.
Okay.
I'm really boring when it comes to my soda.
My boss, who's not a soda drinker, tried it, and he
Okay.
now is a soda drinker.
Okay, it might be good.
Maybe not a soda drinker, but Kevin definitely enjoys.
If he's
enjoys it a
gonna
lot.
grab a soda,
Mhm.
now it's gonna be that one.
Yep.
Fair. I don't know. I'll give it a try and report back.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. So Boss has pre-selected 3 questions. Do you have a preference of like what we
Oh,
do in
cool.
what order?
Nope, I
Okay.
don't even really remember them.
Deal. It's perfect. On the go. We're just gonna start in order then
Sounds
of what
good.
you've sent. So the first one is, what are people usually surprised to learn about you?
Well, given my role at work and kind of how I hold myself with a certain degree of confidence,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm always willing. So I actually hate crowds.
Really? Okay.
You'd never guess that about me
No.
because I have no problem going up in front of a crowd and being that person who
'Kay.
stands in front of a crowd
Yes.
and talking and being that person. But I don't like it.
What do you hate about a
Um,
crowd?
I get nervous, I guess. Like
Okay.
the same things that everybody else would probably hate about being in
Yeah.
a crowd. I'm able to
You just
overcome
cover
that
it well.
nervous, and
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. But given that kind of confidence that I bring, the thing that people would be surprised to learn about me is I'm actually a high school dropout, which would
Okay.
make continued education difficult because I don't
Yes.
have a high school diploma or a transcript or anything like
Okay.
that.
So
So
you'd have to do like a GED kind of route.
exactly.
Okay.
And I've spent my entire life, my goal in life, speaking of goals, um, in middle school, I was told by my principal and vice principal and everyone else who was trying to correct my behavior and attendance and everything at the
Uh-huh.
time, you need a high school diploma in order to succeed in life. And it was
Mm.
in junior high that I set that goal. I was like, I'm going to prove you wrong.
Okay.
So I very specifically didn't get my high school diploma. That
Okay.
was on purpose. I didn't just choose to drop out because I was bored.
Mm.
I chose it
Okay.
on purpose and continued. I mean, I got married right out of 4 days out of high school. I got married. Technically 4 days after my class graduated. I wasn't going to school
Okay.
for most of the senior year. As soon as I turned 18 and could legally stop going, I stopped going.
Okay.
But I moved out before I was 18, living with a friend. But yeah, the fact that I'm technically uneducated, I think surprises a lot of people because I hide that very well.
Yeah.
And when I was in my 20s, you'd look at me and, excuse me, you'd look at me and be like, yeah, he's an idiot. Because I genuinely was. I didn't try to educate myself.
Okay.
I didn't go to school to learn. I went to hang out with my friends and my girlfriend at the time, who I
Yeah.
ended up marrying.
Okay.
I went there for the social aspect and
Okay.
because I legally had to.
Right.
But it was around 25 that I got tired of being the stupid person in the room.
Okay.
And I started educating myself.
Okay.
The internet definitely helped me out a lot
Yes. Yeah,
there.
there's a lot out there.
I even went to a couple of classes that in like college. I'd just crash and sit in on a
They
class
never
or
know.
two.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, they don't know. I wasn't expecting to get anything out of it except for my own education,
Cool.
like to
Yeah.
improve myself. And I spent a lot of time teaching myself, history, some science.
Nice.
I actually neglected technology 100% because I didn't think it would hold any value for me.
Interesting.
So when I got the career I'm in, which is technology,
Yep.
I was expecting to be there temporarily and find another blue collar job somewhere.
Okay. Fair.
That was I didn't go to the gym back then. I had a blue collar job, which was my workout.
Yeah.
And when I got a desk job in technology, that's when I started putting on all this weight. And that's when I started teaching myself about technology. Like I could use a computer, like a mouse and a keyboard.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But that was it.
Yeah.
And now I oversee this company in a way that I never ever expected my career to kind of turn, and
That's neat.
it's been great.
Yeah. I mean, it's impressive, really, because you do hear all throughout school, like, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this. If you don't graduate, you can't do this. But like, obviously, intentionally, right? Like you've created a very successful life for yourself.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, it's not the most successful. I know people much younger than me who are far more successful and well more educated. I'm not the smartest person in the room, and I think if you are the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Fair.
I always want to learn something from the people who I'm working with
Yeah,
and working for.
I like that.
And if as a leader, I guess sometimes I am the smartest person in the room, but I'm there to teach in those scenarios. I'm
Yeah.
not there to learn, and that's different, I guess. But I try and not be the smartest person in the room because then I'm hindering myself there.
I like that.
So
Yeah. There's always something we can learn from someone.
absolutely, and it doesn't always have to be career related.
Yeah.
I one of the things that I really like to do is people don't know that my previous career is in thread, so quilting.
Cool.
Is the big one, but
Okay.
people would make clothes and a bunch of other things too. So when I can bring that up in a conversation and people are like,
Yeah.
I
Like a
had,
fun fact.
yeah, and they're like, I didn't know that you knew anything about thread. I have a friend who his partner just started making quilts and she wasn't sure how to do a specific, like how to piece. And so I was just like, well, what kind of a sewing machine do you have? And
I love that.
you could tell that she looked at me like, well, how are you going to help me? Like, what is the answer to that going to do for you that will help me? And I was just like, well,
Have some history.
exactly.
That's cool.
So yeah, it's
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Another fun fact about you.
Yeah.
That's cool. I'm going to call you when I have any problems. We were
Please
just having
do.
problems with my sewing machine. So,
Yeah. By all means, what kind of sewing machine?
brother.
I was gonna say, is it a brother?
Yep.
All right.
That's all I know about it. I don't know anything else.
No, that's okay.
Yeah. Okay, fair. That's cool. What would you say, not having your high school diploma, what was like a surprise to you in a good way? And then what was a challenge that was a surprise?
Um, I don't know if there's really any good surprises about not having it. It is actually surprisingly easy to be successful without it. You do not
Yeah.
need it.
Yeah.
I do not tell my children that. Well, I do tell my children that. I don't lie to my children, but I
Right.
definitely encourage them to get it because um, finding a really good career can be harder if you don't have that. You need to
Yeah.
find some people who are willing to take risks on you. You need to form those relationships and
Yeah.
network and show that you're willing to put in the kind of effort that a company is looking for without that piece of paper that said you did that in high school when you were a kid. And I think
Right.
judging people based on on things that they did as kids is kind of stupid.
Sure.
So I don't think it's really needed. I think it's just something to kind of keep industrialism alive.
Okay, fair.
I think it was Rockefeller. No, I can't remember his name now. Dang it. Like early 1900s, a guy who said, "I don't want a generation of free thinkers. I want a generation of workers." And so
Mm-hmm.
he invested like $1 million into the school system to form what it is today.
Yeah, I
And
have heard that.
that is show up to class on time, go to your next class on time, go to lunch on time, follow the instructions of the principal, of your teacher, to build habits of a worker
Yeah.
who's going to be in an industrial plant. And we're not an industrial
Right.
country anymore. Everything is
Right.
moving to technology. AI is a big thing and it's expanding.
Yeah.
So that's going to change how we focus. And unless someone puts some effort into how school works, the school's not going to improve, and we're going to get a generation that doesn't know what they need to do.
Yeah.
And even though, like, I can see why they did that to schools to bring that generation of workers out, like, it's a really jacked up thing to change, to pull free thinkers out of their environment and make them
Yeah.
drones. I really didn't like looking back on it.
Yeah.
I don't like that, but
Yeah. There's definitely some major improvements that maybe need to be adjusted to how things are working now, and
yeah,
that's fair. I mean, that's cool. I mean, I think there's a lot of things that we do because it's this norm, or we're told, especially as kids, this is how you should do things, yada yada yada. And sure, maybe it made it a little easier, but like, look at what you've been able to do, kind of in spite, I guess, of
because of free thinking.
Yeah.
Like, I thought for myself, and yeah, it wasn't easy. There were some parts that were really hard.
yeah,
And my ex-wife can attest to that. Like, we had some struggle bus years for sure.
yeah,
But we definitely, like, we made it work,
Yeah.
and we got to a point where she could be a stay-at-home mom, where we owned our own home.
yeah,
And that's all just because you even though you don't have that piece of paper, if you show people that you're willing to buy into what the product might be and the vision of that company,
yeah,
they're willing to move you up. Especially, I mean, I did get really lucky. I found a company that was just emerging. I
mm-hmm,
got in on the ground floor. I was one of like 7 people
yeah,
before it grew to what it is today. And that is definitely a lot of luck there,
Yeah.
for sure.
yeah,
Not to say that it's not, because it was, but my previous company that was very successful, when I joined it, like, again, all I had to do was show that I bought into the vision
Yeah.
and showed, that I was dedicated to the role, and they kept moving me up until inevitably they did sell the company, and
Mm.
then they let everybody go, because that's what happens.
Of course, yeah. Well, and I think it has something to do with the relationships you build too, like
Absolutely.
how you connect with people, and like they trust you,
Mhm.
even though you didn't have a piece of paper that said you graduated. You know what I mean?
The CEO from my former company is actually the one who got me the job at Mango right now, where I am
Cool.
working.
Okay.
So, and I won him over one day, when I probably shouldn't have. So I was at a point in my life where we had just moved down here, right?
'Kay.
So we were starting over. We sold everything that we owned. We just got a place, and the place was so old it didn't even have internet. And this was 2014, so internet was still important. um, and we could never even get internet out there. So I would use the company's internet to do things while I was
Mm.
at the office. I'd set it up, put my phone on the table, and I'd forget about it. And I downloaded a movie. Don't do this at home, kids. Pitch Perfect. I had never seen
Love
it.
that movie.
I had never seen it, and a coworker was telling me about it, and I was just like, I'll check it out. And I don't like musicals, but I was like, I'll check it out. Well, the company's internet was just sent us a cease and desist, and
Mhm.
the CEO went around giving everybody a letter like this movie was downloaded, blah blah blah.
Oh no.
Like, and as soon as like he handed me the paper, I read it in front of everyone. I was like, oh, this was me. Like, I accepted responsibility
Yeah.
for that.
Take ownership.
And that's something I've always done too. Is like if I mess up, that's on me. I will accept the responsibility for that.
Yeah.
And like he stopped handing out papers, took me to his office, and we had our conversation, and I was disciplined appropriately.
Yeah.
But since that moment, he always had a good opinion of me because I came
Oh
forward
yeah,
so
that's
easy. and in
a
front of
quality not
everybody.
everybody has.
Exactly, and that's what made him, advance me so quickly after I proved that I wasn't a scumbag.
I won't do it again, but give me a promotion.
Exactly. And then yeah, that's the reason I was he asked if I could come work at my current job
That's
is
awesome.
because of that ethical dilemma, I guess, and coming forward.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's rare to find people who take ownership of their own stuff now. So
I agree.
why wouldn't you hold on to that when you have that in somebody?
Yeah. Yeah. But
That's
yeah,
cool.
it was a good time.
Fair. Yeah. I mean, that is surprising, right? Like, I mean, I'm sure there's people that I know who have never graduated high school and I just don't know that, right? But I don't know, it sounds like you used it as like an empowering kind of like, I'm going to take ownership in my own life.
Absolutely. Yes. I had a friend who he also didn't graduate
Okay.
at the same time.
Yeah.
His was more due to willful ignorance and just
Fair.
kind of being a pain. And
Yeah.
he did get his GED because
Okay.
he joined the Navy right after high school,
Okay.
and you have to be a
Yep.
GED or high school graduate
Yep.
to join the military. And I'm super grateful that I didn't get my diploma or GED because
Okay.
there was a time when I considered joining the military just to
Mm.
take care of my family
Okay.
because we did have our first kid came a little earlier than we were kind of predicting.
Fair.
And I was just like, maybe I should join the military. And so I went to a recruiter, and I didn't know you needed your high school diploma or GED at the time.
Mhm.
And so I went to join the Marines, and I couldn't. And I look back on that, and I'm like, oh, I'm so glad I couldn't join the Marines. Not because I don't think that the Marines and the U.S. Armed Forces are great, because they are fantastic and they
Yeah.
do good work, but it's not for me.
Fair.
I can't take being degraded and
Yeah.
talked down to.
Yeah.
I would be thrown out so fast because
Fair.
I just wouldn't do it. And I literally proved that in high school and in junior high. You have to get your GED or you have to get your high school diploma in order to succeed in life. And I was like, I'm going to prove you wrong. I do not have to
Yeah.
watch me. And I
Yeah.
would take that same mentality to the military and it wouldn't work out.
That's fair.
So
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you end up where you need to be. Sometimes it's just the route getting there is an adventure.
yeah. So that is one thing I'm
Cool.
very grateful I wasn't able to do.
Fair. Hey, that's cool. Hey, what's something you've gone through that's changed how people see you?
Definitely my divorce,
Mm-hmm.
which was very recent.
Okay.
So we were married for 18 years and almost 19 years.
Okay.
Close enough to 19 years. And
Yeah.
we've been together longer than that. Like, you've seen the story of Corey and Topanga from Boy Meets World. Like, that
Yes.
was my ex-wife and I.
Okay.
And when I was married, I think I just always had this like happy, cheery personality
Yeah.
going on. Because I was happy. Even if
Yeah.
it was I hesitate to use the word false because it wasn't false. Like, I was genuinely just happy every day. But as soon as like the divorce happened and she left and all that fun stuff,
Yeah.
I realized how like impatient and angry I can be
Okay.
and intimidating.
Yeah.
Something I learned from my staff because apparently I'm intimidating.
Okay.
Which I learned pretty recently.
Fair.
I'm sure Craig can attest to my personality shift. But yeah, so I learned that about myself is I didn't have anything to really bring out that happy side. So I didn't really dive into the anger. I just realized how angry I can get over
Mm.
little things that I become impatient about.
Mm-hmm.
I think impatience is the real thing that kills me is because I can't like, and my kids, they get the pass because I love my children and
Yeah.
they can be as dumb and trying as they want and it's fine. But when I'm at work with adults, sometimes like I get impatient when this is something that I had to learn for myself too, is like, just because I think it's simple doesn't mean that they think it's simple.
Yes. Yeah.
And something that might seem obvious to me is way more obvious to me because I have so much more experience than some of the people I work with.
Right.
And so I try and take that into consideration. And I like to think that I take that into consideration when overseeing my team.
Yeah.
But I know that there have been some times where I've been short with them, and I might lose my temper, and I always take extreme caution or extreme measures to apologize when those happen
Yeah.
because I know when I do that, and there have been a few times when I've had to call someone in my office and be like, look, I overreacted. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Uh, that's not who I usually am, and I think you know that, and it just got to me, and I'm sorry. But that's something I've learned about myself is I didn't think I had any like negative like emotion, which I knew I did, but it never really hit me until my divorce.
Yeah.
So,
Did it change the way you viewed like yourself seeing those things?
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when we go through hard things, I think it can uncover parts of us that are sometimes really strong and empowered, and like we see the strength in ourselves. Sometimes it also uncovers parts of us that along the way of getting to the strength are things maybe we don't love.
Sure.
But how much better are you going to be learning these things about yourself now and trying to like gain control of them? It's not forever.
Right.
Like you're going to get on top of this just like everything else. And
Yeah. Looking back on it, like, and I didn't even, honestly, I wasn't even thinking about it until we started talking about it, but the anger and everything has always been there.
okay.
Like, I definitely get angry at my ex-wife and I get angry at my kids.
Yeah. Oh,
But,
who doesn't?
but I'd bury it, I guess, just because, like,
Okay.
what did it help? Like, getting angry at the time.
Okay.
Like, I was happy. I had everything I wanted, which I did.
Yeah.
So there was no reason to, like, be angry. So it was just easy to just, like, let go.
Okay.
But now I don't have that.
Yeah.
So it bubbles up.
It's maybe like the balance is off. There's
Yeah.
less happiness. And so the anger maybe just feels more like a solo act right now.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it.
Okay.
For sure.
Fair. I get that. I think that balance is key when it comes to like, because people feel angry and people get impatient. I don't think those are unique traits to you.
Absolutely not.
But when you're going through a hard thing and you're maybe feel like there's less of that happiness, makes sense that there's more of that
Something's taking the wheel.
other. Yeah.
It's the movie Inside Out. Joy is taking a nap.
Yes. It's still there. You find glimpses, but maybe it's not running the control board right now.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
It's mainly sadness.
Yeah.
But the explosive emotion is anger, for sure. That's the one that it comes on quick. I can easily recognize.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Do you feel like your anger is masking something, or do you feel like it's like just genuine? I'm angry about how things are.
I think it's genuine, but I'm not 100% sure.
Fair.
Like, it definitely could be masking, sadness or something else, but
Yeah.
I genuinely try and feel my emotions when, especially being sad. Like, I sit in that and I try and process that. And that's something
Good.
I've always been good at is
Yeah.
processing my own emotions just due to my upbringing. I've always been really good at regulating how
Love
I
that.
feel. And so this is a unique time in my life because when I was a kid, like, I can remember the last time I let my anger, like,
Yeah.
truly, like, out. I was a very angry kid. When my grandparents, took custody of me and my little brother, I was very destructive and very angry.
Okay.
And like I said, I remember the last time I was just like, I think I'm done with this. Like I
Okay.
worked it all out.
Yeah.
Um, and feeling that come back, it kind of sucks because I feel like I'm regressing.
Mm.
But
Okay. Even though the anger, it probably is so different and from very different things,
absolutely,
it's still
it's
maybe
like
it's a similar feeling.
absolutely. You eat your grandma's favorite cookies, and it takes you back to that
Yes.
nostalgic time. It's like that, but for being angry.
Recognition of
Yeah.
emotion. That's
I'm
fair.
I'm not. I mean, as an adult, I'm not destructive anymore. I'm not punching holes in my walls or
Yeah.
beating my kids.
Yeah. Well, great choices, right?
Maybe we'll talk about it later.
No.
I will be showing this to my daughter. Um, so I have control over it, but I definitely feel it way more now than I used to when
Okay.
I was happily married.
Yeah. Is that different than like when you were a child trying to control your anger, like, and now you have control over it? Like, is that a difference, or is that still hard to
It's
see the difference?
it still feels the same. In fact, I think if like I've actually thought about going to a rage room recently for
Great.
just the idea of breaking things because I
Yeah.
think it's very cathartic.
Oh yeah.
Helps get it out. There was at one point April 30th, maybe the 29th, where I wanted to break everything in my house. Like
Mm.
I just so mad, and I decided to go to bed. Just like go to bed before you do something stupid. And my kids are home, and
Yeah.
I don't want them to see that.
Yeah.
So they're definitely keeping me in check for sure because I want to make sure that they don't grow up in a where they think that's an okay behavior.
Yeah.
Especially my son. And
Yeah.
he's not an angry kid at all, but like that's the last thing I want to give him is those exact same issues.
Fair.
So
Good for you. That's hard sometimes to not pass on some of those traits.
he'll definitely get some.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But he's watching you work through it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the best thing we can do as parents is be like, hey, yeah, I feel these feelings, but I'm trying to deal with them in a healthy way.
And I actually have that conversation with him probably like once a month. I'm like, hey, I'm just sad right now.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be fine. Just
Yeah.
let me chill. Or the same thing with angry, like, or how I'm feeling towards, his mom.
Yeah.
And I don't talk about her in a negative way in front of my kids at all.
Yeah.
But I do say like, she's made me sad. Like,
Yeah.
so I don't hide what's happened, but
Yeah.
it's very important to me that no one talks poorly about my ex-wife, especially in front of my children. And,
Yeah.
especially in front of me, even I have a really good friend who did refer to her with a derogatory term.
Mm.
And I was just like, look, don't do that again. Like,
Fair.
like I see where you're coming from. Trust me, I see it.
You're like, I'm angry too, but
But I don't do it. You can't do it.
that's fair.
So don't do that in front of me.
Yeah.
If you want to go home and complain about my ex, by all means, like if you want to waste your time that way, go for it. Or just share the information with your partner or whatever it is that you want to do.
Yeah.
Like you can do that behind closed doors. Just don't do it in front of me. So
Which is respectful to your kids too, right? Because
I think
like
so.
it is still mom to them.
Exactly. And regardless of what happens, like even though we're not really on speaking terms, she's still family.
Yeah.
She always will be.
Yeah.
She's the mother of our children.
Right.
And I definitely view her more as an annoying sister now than as a romantic partner.
That's fair.
But she'll always be loved. She'll always have a place to come home to, if the worst happens.
Yeah.
But it's complicated.
How can it not be?
Yeah.
Right? Like someone that you've spent more than 18, 19 years with, right? Because you were together.
Yeah. Like 25 years of our lives.
Yeah. Most of your life.
And I mean, we lived together literally 50% of our lives.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's complicated.
Did you see it coming or did it surprise you?
I was very surprised. I should have seen it coming.
Mm.
I see the signs in hindsight.
Yeah, but that's so hard to.
Yeah. I had my rose-colored glasses on. I put her on a pedestal and shined her every day, and she could do no wrong in my eyes.
Yeah.
And it took a lot of work to take her off of that pedestal and take the glasses off and see her for an actual person and not this goddess that I betrayed her to be.
Yeah. That's hard. I mean, not that like divorce is ever easy.
Yeah.
But I think when you like start to see the pieces crumbling, maybe the grief is just more prolonged, whereas for you it was like all in one space.
Oh, I wish it could have been in like all in one. In fact,
Fair.
like there was phases to it that would just like I'd actually be doing. I'd start feeling better, and then something else would happen, and it'd be like, yeah, by the way, you're starting over.
Okay.
And it happened like 2 or 3 times throughout the process. Because I mean, she just originally she left.
Okay.
And it's not the first time she's left, and that's why I probably should have seen things coming.
Okay.
Because she's left before, but we always worked it out. And
Yeah.
I kind of had that hope that, we would be able to work it out.
Yeah.
Again. She asked me for some space, so I gave her space. I gave her too much space. That's probably why it officially ended. But anyway, so like there was the original depression of all that, of her just leaving.
Okay.
And then I started getting better, and then, 7 months later, she officially asked for a divorce.
Okay.
Which started the process all over again. I finally
Yeah.
realized, there's no saving this. I'll give her what she wants. It's what she's asking for. And then 4 months later after that, I've kind of accepted the fact that it's over, but, she'll still be around because, we have children. And
Yeah.
then she gets married 15 days after our divorce. So
Ugh.
it sent me right back down.
Fair.
So it was, and like that, the fact that she was married so quickly after our divorce tells me that, like, was something going on during our marriage that I don't know about that she's
Yeah,
hiding?
makes you question things.
Definitely question things. And I don't know. I don't have any proof or anything like that. So I've definitely connected some dots that make me think so. But
Yeah.
my children don't know that, and I'm not going to tell them because honestly, it's none of their business. And I can't prove it one way or the other anyway. So it
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, it just makes you like maybe fearful, I guess, of like leaning into trusting certain aspects when
Yeah,
you just don't know the whole story. Right?
exactly. Yeah.
And you probably never will.
Nope. And that's just something you got to live with, which
Yeah.
is the worst.
Yeah. I don't. It's both are hard, right? Because sometimes we learn truths we don't want to know, or wish maybe we didn't, and then in other situations, it's like this would have been nice to know.
Sure. I don't know. Personally, I still think I'd rather know.
Okay.
Hurt my feelings with the truth, but don't comfort me with a lie type of mentality.
Fair.
But that's just me. I know not everybody is that way.
Yeah. No, it's fair. And I think it depends on the thing too, right? Like maybe you are like that just straight across the board. I think other people are sometimes I want to know this, but I don't want to know
Certain
this.
topics,
Yeah.
back up a little bit.
Yeah.
That's valid.
I tend to be a little bit more like, no, it's okay. I don't need to
So
know.
I think my daughter. I don't know if she's that way too, but she asked me where I was coming tonight, and I was just very vague. I
Oh
was just
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
it's none of your business. Like, you don't need to know. And she's like, next time, just lie to me.
That's fair. Just pretend you're going to the arcade or
Yeah.
something.
And I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I like watching you squirm.
Just like that's fair. There are times where I'm like, it'd just be easier if I didn't. No. Sometimes I know too much about the human being's existence sometimes, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm okay. I don't need to know anymore. So, but that's fair. Like when you're trying to piece together something that occurred to you in like a betrayal kind of sense,
I think
sometimes it's nice.
I think it's super important for closure
Yeah.
to just know what happened, and that's just it. Like, I don't actually know what caused everything. Like, it was just a bunch of
hard.
little things that built up over
Yep.
time.
Yep.
And according to her, we don't work with each other.
Okay.
And I like loving a person is work. Like
Oh yeah, it's a
you
choice.
you have to work at it.
Yeah.
And I think she's chasing like that honeymoon phase
Okay.
because she has left me before more than once.
Okay.
And I'd always go and I'd get her back and I'd be romantic and I'd have to win her affection every time. So I think she's
Yeah.
chasing that honeymoon
Okay.
phase. And
Mm.
that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
But
Your life,
yeah.
right? You get to see how
Yeah,
things how they
I do.
are
Exactly.
for you. That's fair. That's hard. You put a lot of work into that marriage.
I think so. She does not. And that's one of the
And
things we differed
yeah,
on.
that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to ask you about something that I've heard that I want you to tell me about if you're comfortable.
Oh, yeah. I think I know what's coming. Let's do it.
I'm curious about this. So, when I was told, hey, you should interview Boss, I was told that you had an experience in your childhood that
Absolutely.
makes a very unique experience
Mhm.
for. You touched a little bit on your childhood with your mom and moving around and stuff like that. Can you dive into a little bit more there of
Yeah,
what you're comfortable sharing?
absolutely. I'm comfortable sharing all of this. Um, so when I was a kid, we went to Yuma, Arizona. That's where my
Mhm.
mother met some individuals who were in the drug trade,
Okay.
and my mom became a smuggler. So she would smuggle drugs from Mexico to the U.S. pretty regularly.
Okay.
And that's why we moved around a lot, different
Yes.
places where we were dropping it off and staying for X amount of days. I didn't actually go as often as my little brother did. My mother felt the need to enroll me in school everywhere we went.
Okay.
So my brother got more trips. Something I was
Okay.
actually very jealous about as a kid.
Right.
As an adult and realizing what they were, very grateful.
Yeah.
Um, but one time, she was. I hesitate to use the word dating, but they were sleeping together all the same.
Okay.
One of these guys that she was smuggling for, and this was in Salt Lake City. And we were staying in this house that they used. I don't know what to call it exactly, but we were on the top floor. It was kind of like an attic, but not quite an attic. Um, and he would get drunk regularly, show
Okay.
up, and then just beat the crap out of my mom.
Okay.
And as children, I was 8, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe 9. We would huddle around our mom
Yeah.
as he would continue to break her face, and she got her face broken many times.
Oh my gosh.
Well, one time my mom wised up, maybe not, but she didn't let him in,
Okay.
and he was beating down the door, and he couldn't get in the door because the door was at the top of a staircase. So I think if he couldn't like run and kick or anything like that because
Okay.
he was also drunk and probably couldn't even really stand. I don't know, because the way he entered the house was pretty incredible for a drunk individual. He climbed a tree and he
Mm.
swung in through my bedroom window, which there was no official bedroom. It's just where my bed was.
Okay.
And like we had dressers kind of sectioned up to give me a little bit of privacy. But he swung in through the window that my bed was under, and it was a pull-out couch. So like I'd take the cushions off the couch and I'd put them on the top of the couch and pull the bed out and go to sleep. And so he landed on the cushion, or he kicked the cushions onto me and landed on the cushions, ran into the area where my mom slept, and started hitting her. He was so angry that she didn't let him in that he went to the kitchen. He actually grabbed a knife.
Mm.
And he went to stab my mom. Again, my brother and I were huddled around her, and he was drunk, and he slipped, and I was stabbed in the back.
Oh my gosh.
That is, of course, where I lose everything. I don't actually remember what happened next. I've only can tell you what I've been told happened.
Fair.
I wake up in the ambulance after it all happens. But according to the reports and my mom and my grandmother, who my grandmother wasn't there, so she also got a secondhand report. But
Okay.
he drops the knife. I at one point pick up the knife and I end up stabbing him in the neck,
Okay.
and he dies on scene.
Okay.
The police are called. I'm rushed to the hospital, and I start remembering in the ambulance.
Okay.
My mom is there, face just a puddle, and I don't know where my little brother was. I never even thought to ask, but yeah, I was rushed to the hospital. They put me under, and I'm told that it was pretty close to one of my kidneys. I don't remember the distance.
Oh my gosh.
But
Okay.
I was 8 or 9, and yeah,
Jeez.
fun little time.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it makes sense why you moved around so much.
yes, again, as a child, I didn't know that.
Right. Oh,
Um,
how would you?
yeah,
That
and
was the world you knew.
after that incident, believe it or not, that's not actually what caused my mother to lose custody. Uh, we stayed in Salt Lake after that.
Okay.
Yuma was I don't know what was going on in Yuma. Yuma was still technically home,
Okay.
but again, I was enrolled in schools all over the place, so I don't know how she did it, but we were in Salt Lake from that point forward. After I was healed and able to leave the hospital, we lived in a van for like 6 months. And my mom at that point essentially became a prostitute. Like she
Yeah.
would sleep with whomever in order to get a place to live.
Yeah.
And sometimes we would get, an apartment or stay at this guy's house or his apartment or whatever. And sometimes we'd be sleeping in this van. And it was your typical child predator kidnapping van, like white panelless van.
Fair.
And again, my mom, I don't know why she was so insistent on enrolling us in school. not that I mean I do have a problem with school, but like that's the stupid part because that's how she lost custody is inevitably, you know, I was a kid, like living in a
Yeah.
van was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I live in a van.
Yeah.
And the teachers were just like, say that again?
Yeah.
I live in a van, jealous. And that's when they ended up calling Child Protective Services. And we went into the foster system
Oh
for
my gosh.
about a year. And my uncle was murdered in Missouri. And we went to the funeral. And that's when we met our grandparents. Well, not met, but that's what we encountered my grandparents. And we're like, hey, guess what? We're in foster care because my mom refused to tell them. And
Okay.
as soon as they found out, 2 months later, they got custody.
Okay.
And like, I think if my mom would have thought about the fact that we were going to say we're in foster care to my grandparents, she probably would have coached us to say, hey, don't say anything
Right.
because she's a grade A moron. She kept thinking that she was going to get custody of us, but she was never willing to put in the effort to get custody back.
Okay.
And regaining your rights as a mom who's lost their rights, so hard to lose your rights as a parent.
Oh yeah, especially in Utah.
Yeah, so hard. So when they take them away, they're just as hard to get back at that
Yes.
point. So she was never going to get us back with the life that she was leading. So I'm grateful. Sorry, Uncle Lee. I'm grateful you died because I never knew the man, but
Right. But it
um,
led to being able to be with your grandparents
exactly.
and out of foster care.
Yeah.
How was that there? Like, did you finally be able to kind of create a home, or was it a challenge in its own way?
It was it was challenging. It felt like just living with random families. Like
Okay.
it wasn't bad. Like I know there's some real bad horror stories out there of foster care. We didn't have that. I had a couple maybe. First family we were with, we were there for a week, and it was just like the emergency placement. Like they had
Right.
to get us somewhere.
Right.
We were there for a week. I learned how to beat the Aladdin Sega game during that week. And then the next week we went somewhere else, and we were supposed to be there long term, but we were a little too much for the family, so they let us go after about a week. And then we got placed with a more permanent family. We were there for a few months. This lady and her husband were just abusive, not like directly, but like very emotionally abusive.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Joan and Mark, I'll never forget their names, and they've got to be dead now because they were ancient when I was living there. But they were the worst. But again, as a child, they weren't that bad. Like as a child, they were the worst.
Right.
And then we went with a different family, and they actually had a bunch of kids of their own,
Okay.
and we were their only 2 foster kids, and they had 2 daughters, I think. Definitely 2 daughters. They might have had 1 more.
Okay.
But they were fine. They
Yeah.
weren't really any big problems. Because of them, I will never eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich again.
Okay.
That's what was for dinner every night because mom worked and the dad was a lazy gamer for what those were back then,
Mhm.
which really it's kind of sad because it was just the PlayStation. Like
Didn't even play on good things.
that was all there was. It's not that it wasn't good. It's just how can you call yourself a gamer with just the PlayStation 1? Like but he was lazy. I mean, he also got in a motorcycle accident and like had brain surgery and damage, and
Okay.
he actually couldn't work, which is why he was a stay-at-home parent. But he was lazy. He didn't do anything. So like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for dinner all the
Okay.
time. And I was just like, so I won't ever eat one of those again.
That's fair.
That was the only downside though, is that I had to eat peanut butter and jelly sandwich every day. They wanted to adopt us. Very, very grateful that my Uncle Lee died because I did not want to live there long term.
Okay.
But yeah, that was the last family we were with. Oh, we were in a girls' home between the first 2 families and the second 2 families.
Okay.
They didn't put us in a boys' home because boys' homes are basically prison, and we were young. And the girls' home was also basically prison, just a nicer prison because they were girls.
That's fair.
And we were there for like 2 or 3 days.
Okay.
But they wouldn't let me watch Jurassic Park, even though I'd already seen it because it was PG-13. And I was 10. 9? 10.
Okay.
But
And you and your brother got to go to each home together.
yeah, they did keep us together. That was
Okay.
one of the reasons why we went to the girls' home, was because they were trying to find a house that would allow both of
you.
us.
Okay.
Considering both he and I don't get along, Like,
Mm.
even back then, we didn't get along.
Yeah.
I'd been fine going somewhere else.
Okay.
Like, I haven't talked to him. Well, that's not true. The last time I spoke to him, really spoke to him, was I think I was 19.
Okay.
I was visiting my grandparents, and just an old habit when they weren't home when we were living there, like I'd write a note and I'd leave it on the TV.
Mm-hmm.
That way, my grandpa or grandma knew where I was going.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went to go check on them one day, and they weren't home. So I left them a note on the TV. My little brother was staying there because they were gone for a week. I guess they went to California for a week.
Okay.
They didn't tell me, which, I mean, rude. I'm the one who's checking on them once a week. And he was staying there for that week, so he got my phone number.
Mm.
Because like I wrote my phone number on the note, and even as I was writing it on the note, I was like, "This is dumb. They have my phone number," but I was like, whatever." So
Mm.
he called me, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, why are you talking to me?" And I was trying to watch Creed.
Such a vivid memory. I love
Ah.
it.
I just like I went through like this Rocky phase. I watched all the Rocky movies, and then Creed came out, and I was like, "I gotta watch Creed." And then he called me while I'm trying to watch this movie. Creed wasn't very good, but. And he talked to me for like 45 minutes, and I let him go. And then he never called me again until last year before last. Pretty recently, though, in comparison.
Okay.
He called me from prison.
Okay.
He and my mother both were arrested in 2019 for burglary, possession with intent, and a handful of other things.
Mm.
Well, I can't say that he was arrested then. My mother was arrested then.
Okay.
The prosecutor reached out to me when she was arrested to like give a statement, which scathing statement. But I don't know when he was arrested, because when we were speaking, he said that he'd been in prison for over a decade.
Okay.
Which does not fit my timeline with my mother being arrested.
Okay.
So, yeah, he reached out to me, and I answered the call out of morbid curiosity. I was like, why? Like, because it's the typical, like, stereotypical what you see in movies. You're getting a collect call from this person at this penitentiary, and do you accept the charges? And I was like, the morbid curiosity was like, yes. I talked to him for like maybe 3 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
and it didn't end well. I told him not to call me anymore. I just have no interest in pursuing that relationship.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've never been close.
Okay.
So like I would have been totally fine going to a different home without him.
Okay.
Even when we were with my grandparents, he was only there for a few months before he left to go live with his dad.
Okay.
And his dad traveled a lot for work. And so he would leave my brother with his girlfriend. And his girlfriend couldn't handle my brother because he's in prison for a reason. And so he came back home, actually. And like he had this attitude with my grandparents. I was concerned he was going to hurt my grandma at one point. So like I didn't really beat him up, but like we had a serious confrontation.
Yeah.
And then he went and he lived with his mom after that because he didn't want to be there anymore.
Okay.
And then he just kind of followed in my mother's footsteps after that. So,
Okay. Unfortunate.
yeah. And, you know, my mom, she never cleaned up after she lost custody, and we went and lived with our grandparents. It got worse. She became a meth head, and she moved to Idaho, Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and just kind of spiraled, got worse and worse. And the last time I spoke to my mom, I was 18.
Okay.
And it wasn't even a real conversation. She called me at work. I was working at Barnes & Noble.
I love it.
She called me at work, and I got the page overhead. You have a call on line 1. So I was just like, hello, this is Tyler. And she was like, hi, Tyler. And I was just like, hey. She's like, do you know who this is? And like, as soon as she said that, I was like, oh, crap, I know who this is now. And I was like, no, because like I didn't know what to do. And she's like, it's your mom. And I just hung up. I was just like, I don't know why I'm continuing to entertain that it's her.
Yeah.
So I just hung up, and that was the last time we ever spoke. Like the actual last like conversation we truly held, I think I was 16.
Yeah.
It was definitely after my ex and I were together. I think it might have been just before our firstborn.
Okay.
I don't know if this didn't come up, but I had my first daughter in high school.
Okay.
Because we were stupid and children, and no one taught us anything. Well, not that I was willing to learn in school anyway. Let's be real. But yeah, we had our first kid in high school. Her name is Ashlyn. We placed her for adoption because we were not going to be appropriate parents as children ourselves.
Yeah.
I think she turned 20 this year.
Okay.
Or maybe it's next year. Yeah, I think she was born in 2000. No, it's 2006. Yeah, so she turned 20 this last March. I've never met her. I'd really like to, but
Yeah.
I figure I shouldn't step on her life. If she wants to meet, I'm happy to do it. But
Okay. So you have 3 kids.
4.
4 kids.
Hmm.
So you raised 3,
Correct.
and then you're one that was adopted.
Hmm.
Wow. That takes a lot to be able to acknowledge, even in high school, that maybe you're not in the space to be able to give the best opportunity. Was
Well,
it all your choice, or was it
uh,
like a co-team
yeah,
together we decided?
we decided together.
Okay.
We weren't sure what we were gonna do. Like we handled it like children by ignoring it. Um, we just continued to sleep together and be reckless idiots. And what's really impressive about my ex is she was 7 months pregnant when she was on the swim team and she went to
Hmm.
state and she came in third, 7 months pregnant. Um, and she hid it for so long. Like it wasn't until I think 7 or 8 months that her family was just like, "Hey, are you pregnant?"
Mm.
And she's just, "Yes."
Wow. Okay.
Is when we finally stopped hiding it. And like I don't know what we were thinking. Like, what were we gonna do when she went into labor? Like,
You
nothing's
didn't get there yet.
happening.
You don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's such
Uh,
like a teen mentality, right?
yeah. Yep. We both agreed to place her for adoption. I think we did start taking that step before her family found out, if I recall correctly. We
Okay.
did go to it was LDS Family Services
Yeah.
back when they were a thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, her family and she was raised Mormon, but I definitely wasn't and am not. But they were great people.
Yeah.
They connected us with the family who adopted her, and they're awesome people.
Great.
I think we chose a really good family. She had a great life. Got pictures all the time, so like I know she was
I love that.
definitely loved.
Yeah. You got enough of an update to be able to recognize like she was thriving in her environment.
Absolutely. Yep.
Did that like what was that? What were those like when you got the updates? Like was it like peace of mind like this was okay? Did it raise hardship for you?
It didn't raise hardship for me. I definitely felt the piece of like she's doing good. Like
Okay, yeah.
she's loved, she's taken care of, she is going to be fine.
Yeah.
And like placing her for adoption was the hardest thing I've ever had to go through. Well, not the hardest thing I've ever had to go through. The divorce was worse, but
Okay.
the hardest thing I willingly chose to do.
Okay, fair. That would be hard.
It sucked, but it was best for her.
Yeah.
And I definitely don't regret it. I think it would have been bad for us, both Andrea and I, and her if we had kept her. And like I had family who live here in Tokerville. They wanted her.
Yeah.
My aunt and uncle,
Yeah.
they always wanted a little girl. They had all boys,
Okay.
and they wanted to take her.
Yeah.
And I was just like, Karen, I can't come and see my daughter living with you and not take her home.
Yeah. I didn't think about that.
Like, and that's one of the reasons I never wanted to see her as a baby or as a toddler or as a kid, because like I would want to take her home. Like,
Yeah.
you belong to me.
Yeah.
I'm sending you home with someone else. And so now that she's grown and is capable of making her own decisions, I would love to meet with her at some point
Yeah.
if that's something that she wants to do. But it's something she's got to want to have to do. Like I don't
Yeah.
want to. Hey, by the way, I'm your birth dad. You should come and see me. Like you owe me. No, she's got to wanna. And if she doesn't
Yeah.
want to, that's fine. Like she gets her own life. That's the cool thing about that.
It's a very respectful thing to like allow her to come to it if she wants to
Yeah.
on her terms, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's incredible. You have lived a life.
I have indeed.
Yeah, very full with lots of experiences, some very unique, and some, I mean, lots of people have experienced divorce. Yours is unique to you,
Yeah.
right? But like challenging in its own way. Sorry that you're going through that.
Happens to a lot of people.
Yeah, but it doesn't make it less hard.
It doesn't, but that's what I gotta tell myself, I guess.
Yeah, I get that. Okay, last question. What's one thing you wish people knew before judging somebody?
Not so much that I wish they knew, but I wish that this thought process would occur to them. Is and I'm just as guilty of judging people before thinking this too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's true for everyone, I think, but I've definitely tried to embed this in my own mentality. Is you don't know what someone is going through. that you don't know. And even if you know them, they might not tell you what they're
It's true.
going through. One of the reasons why I am such an open book about how I feel and what I'm going through is so people know that maybe now's not a good time to pester him with something that's
Yeah.
unimportant.
Yeah.
Maybe now is a good time, depending on what's going on. So that's why I try and be open with how I feel, especially because I think repressing how you feel is not good for you.
No.
Just telling people how you feel is a way to accept that you feel that way and helps get through that. But everyone is going through something different. This person might have lost their job. This person's parent probably passed away. If they cut you off in traffic, they're not mad at you. You might have been the trigger that made them want to cut you off, but something else happened to them that day. This person
Right.
can't pay their bills today. The other person, this person, they might get kicked out of school.
Yeah.
Everyone is going through something, and nobody knows what that person's going through. So I think giving people a little bit of grace when someone upsets you is what I think will really improve people's perception of people in general.
Yeah.
Because I don't like crowds, like I mentioned. I generally don't like people as a whole. I think they make bad decisions when they're together.
Yeah.
But this has helped me think that people aren't bad. People are just going through their own things, and they're doing the best they can with what they have.
Yes.
So that's what I wish people would think about before judging another person. What happened to them today? Why did they do that?
Yeah. I like that. I think the reality is like we often judge before thinking, right? It just like comes to mind or it is the
Absolutely.
thought, right? Like, whoa. I think it's like you were saying, offering the compassion after the judgment, right? Like we may want to flip somebody off when they cut us off in traffic, right? But then it's like a really quick, like, you know what? I don't know what's going on, right? And that quick, like, moment of just, I don't need to express the anger.
Yeah. Why escalate it?
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just, that's what I think people should do is don't judge someone based off of what they just did. Like, try and understand that they're going through something. They're probably going through something. You don't know what's going on in their life. Judging them before you know it's disingenuous and
Yeah.
ignorant.
Yeah. Is there something you would tell, like, you from now? Is there something you would tell yourself at any stage, like, that you would want to pass on or encourage yourself, like past versions of you?
With the exception of my current failed marriage, I'm very happy with who I am as a person.
Love
I
that.
think I've grown into a really good person, which is kind of arrogant to say, and I am a little arrogant, and that's fine too. um, I like who I am overall.
I like that.
So I wouldn't give myself any advice like that because I would effectively be killing a version of myself that I like. I
Love that.
think the things that I've had to learn and the things I've had to go through have made me who I am. I like who I am.
Yeah.
I don't like some of my failures, and that's fine, but those failures have helped shape who I am.
Yeah.
And if I could go back and give myself any bit of advice, that would effectively kill who I am today. And
I like that.
I like that version of me. So aside from investing in Bitcoin, I got nothing.
No kidding. We're buying a house about 10 years, 20 years ago.
I wish I would have bought a house in 2006.
Yes.
Because I didn't realize how easy it is to actually buy a house.
Yeah.
Until I bought a house, and I still bought a house when it was great. Like the reason I have my giant house now is because I bought a small one when it was okay, and the prices went way up. And
There you go.
I bought another house really low, and I sold it for a lot more, and I just kept growing it that way. But if I could have started in 2006,
Yeah. I know,
that would
right?
have been great. That would have been great.
That's fair. I like that though.
Or
Like
2008.
you wouldn't have changed the path that got you to where you're at, even in the heart of where you're at right now, like still being proud of who you are, and where you're going to go from here. I think that's like a good reminder of, even though things are hard right now, like look what you've got yourself through.
Absolutely. A saying that I heard a couple months ago, actually, that I really liked and I try to remember is and I don't like when I was married, I didn't worry. Like
Yeah.
I didn't have anxiety. Nothing ever worried me. I was just like, we'll figure it out. Like that was my
Yeah.
mentality. But ever since my divorce, I've had a lot more anxiety and I've been worried about things. And so I heard something that I trying to remember when I start to worry is I shouldn't worry when I figured everything out so easily before.
Oh, I like
And that's
that.
not the actual quote is you worry too much for someone who's figured it out every time before.
Okay. I love it.
And so I'm trying to take that and remind myself of I've got this every time before, like this is no different.
True.
So
Good reminder.
yeah.
Something to hold on to. I appreciate you coming. I
Yeah.
appreciate you sharing all of this.
Of course. Happy to be here.
Being willing to share. There's no harm in being an oversharer. And I think that's exactly like what you were saying is like you're like, I overshare, but it makes for an environment where people are more willing to come and share their things.
I agree.
So
As a nerd, I used to, wear like an anime lanyard or
love it.
something like that.
Yes.
Or something that I was a gamer, Dungeons and Dragons, like all of the nerdy stuff. I actively talk about that to people who might not even be interested, or I wear brands or something like that that indicates that's who I am.
Yeah.
Because I have no shame of who I am.
Yeah.
I'm not embarrassed that I like anime or comics or Marvel or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I know people can be
Yeah.
and are very, very common reserved, introverted individuals because they are concerned that they're going to be judged by their peers.
Yeah.
And I'm not. So by being who I am and being open about everything, it helps. Like you don't know who your next friend is going to be.
I love that.
So it gives them that invitation to start a conversation with you
Yeah.
about something that they love that they can see that you love.
Yes.
So
Like
that's-
an immediate, we have something in common and I feel more comfortable.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I've always been an open book with how I'm feeling and what I like and everything like that because yeah, you never know like if someone's going through or has the same things because they could be hiding it for whatever reason.
Yeah. I love that. What a great, I don't know, just a great reminder, right? Like be unapologetically you,
Yeah.
and that makes people feel safer.
Great way to phrase it. Unapologetically you. I love it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. This was fun.
Good.
Thanks for sharing a soda with us today. If this episode changed the way you see the world or one person, please share it with somebody else. And remember, stay curious because every stranger is just a story you haven't heard yet.